Hello! Welcome to What the Beep Shakespeare, and this week we're going to be looking at, is Mercutio gay?
And why is he more filthy than Gregory and Samson?
And are Mercutio and Benvolio in a relationship? Why is Mercutio more filthy than Gregory and Samson in Act 1, Scene 1? And why is he more rude than the nurse in the previous scene? If we take it into context of those four characters, Gregory and Samson are low-born servants, and so is the nurse. But Mercutio is definitely high-born because he is related to the prince, and he's been invited to the party, which only high-born people would have been. Yeah, everyone else would be serving people. So normally you would expect this kind of thing where the high-born people would behave more appropriately, but Mercutio doesn't, which is interesting. And he's also a bit obsessed with dicks. Just thought I'd bring that in. So, for example, and to sink in it should you burden love, too great oppression for a tender thing. So if you penetrate your lover, you will weigh her down. And if you lost your erection, you disappoint her. Or him. Yeah. If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. He does seem a bit obsessed with knobs.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. But also, he's also telling Romeo to get a grip on himself, to shake himself out of this maudlin thing that he's in. He's basically telling him that he doesn't have to be in love with Rosalind. He doesn't have to get Rosalind's love. There is another way that he can fix this problem. And that way is to crack one off. A key element here with Mercutio and his filthiness is, I know, is a thing about censorship and changing the language to fit the time. So this concept is called bowdlerisation.
That's a mouthful.
Bowdlerisation. Yeah, I know. No need for filth like that. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is a concept where what happened in the olden days was to create something with older texts like Shakespeare's text to create it more family friendly. So they'd take out the rude elements. They would I guess homogenise it to make it nicer.
Change the words.
Change the words.
Like
so this is really evident in Shakespeare's sonnets, where the word he or boy was changed to she to make it less about a homosexual relationship, to be about heterosexual relationship, which made it more palatable. So there's certainly quite a lot of that going on in Shakespeare's texts, and I guess in our modern liberal society we should be thinking about, well, how do we get these texts back to their original form? And thinking about this bawdy language and this rudeness is actually part of the real text. So rather than censoring this stuff and taking it out, it's actually a key element to it. There's a reason why Mercutio is bawdy, is rude. It allows them to talk about things in a slightly different way.
Yeah, I think it's quite important that our stories are now equitable. We can't look at censorship in these days. You know, we've recently been granted equal marriage in this country and other countries as well, but places like Northern Ireland, Italy and Greece haven't quite got there yet. And I think it's really important that we identify and reverse this process to make these stories more equitable.
And I guess as artists, you could make those choices within your pieces of work. You could decide to make it more equitable, to bring it back to the original, to bring this kind of language back to the fore, because it was a key concept and key component of Shakespeare's work. The fact that he was talking about this stuff, because in those days it was not, people had been put to the stake for having these tendencies, these ways. So quite a lot of his talking about it is slightly hidden. So we have to kind of look for it.
But I think it's important to talk about these things now. There's such a change in society that keeping these stories hidden and covered up, it sort of makes a mockery of today's society and what we're trying to achieve as a human race.
Big stuff.
Is Mercutio homosexual?
Well, there's quite a few bits of evidence for that. We have to flash forward into the scene after the party where he is trying to get Romeo to come out of hiding, and he talks about the medlar tree. Now, the medlar tree as a concept where the medlar fruit actually looked like an arse, and the medlar fruit would be eaten once it had gone off and gone brown, right? So he talks, this is what he says. Let's see. So, if love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress were of that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. O Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open, and in this one it says arse, and thou a poprin pear. Romeo, good night, I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go, right? Now, we've already found a version of bowdlerisation. Bowdlerisation here. So this copy here says, O Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open arse, and thou a poprin pear. Now, in the original, it would have said, O Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open, thou a poprin pear. Now, originally, the Elizabethan audience would have known that an open would mean open arse. So this edition has got the word arse put in, but in my edition, which is a much older one than this, it says this, which is quite astonishing, right? And this is exactly as it says on the text. O Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open etc.
But they've written the word etc.
Etc. The whole word, not just the little abbreviation, the whole word, etc. Thou a poprin pear. Who got absolute bowdlerisation all over the place.
That doesn't make sense.
But he's talking about a fruit that looks like an arse and is eaten when it has gone brown. So there's a massive analogy there. Now, fair play, it's not exact science. It's not a definite, look, he's gay. Look, Shakespeare said, look, Mercutio is gay.
No, I think it's an interpretation, isn't it?
So we can interpret that or we can not, right? So you can choose that. Also, we also have in Act 1, Scene 2, we have the guest list. Now, Mercutio hasn't turned up yet, but he's mentioned in that guest list. And he's mentioned, let's see, what does it say? Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet. So Mercutio and his brother Valentine.
Yes, he's the only one in that list who's mentioned with another
gentleman. with his brother Valentine. Okay, now what might that mean? Now Valentine's Day wasn't properly a thing back in the Elizabethan period, but Valentine would have been recognised as a love thing, so a brother Valentine. Yes, and maybe Valentine isn't actually a guy called Valentine. Maybe that is, maybe that's Benvolio. Ooh, because Benvolio and Mercutio always turn up together when Mercutio's in, and they always leave together. They're very friendly.
Make of that what you will.
Make of that what you will. Yeah. So maybe, and also Benvolio hears the list, so maybe the actor playing Benvolio can play the fact that he knows exactly who Brother Valentine is. And maybe
it's a secret.
Maybe Romeo also knows who Brother Valentine is. Yeah, so there's actors' choices there, isn't there, as to whether we decide we'll play the relationship or not. So is Mercutio gay? He might be gay if we choose to play it such, but he may also not be gay if we choose to play it as such.
Over to you.
We've looked at lots today. We've looked at, is Mercutio gay and is he in a relationship with Benvolio? What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Comment below.
And why is his language more filthy than that of Samson and Gregory or even the nurse?
We've looked at a lot of stuff, but we've
not even got to Queen Mab yet.
We've not even got to Queen Mab yet.
Not even got there yet.
Yeah, that's a whole episode. A whole episode on Queen Mab. So if you're wondering what that's all about, get involved in that. Subscribe, comment below.
Get involved.
See you
later.
See you next time, loves.